All right. So in this lesson, I'll be showing you how to create a Power Automate flow using Copilot. Creating Power Automate flows using Copilot is even a way easier way to start your Power Automate flow. We have explored or have shown how to create Power Automate flows from scratch. We've also looked at creating Power Automate flows using templates. And now I am sure, and now in this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to basically use natural language like English, so basically describing what you want to create. And Copilot will take your words, your English words, and convert that into a Power Automate flow. I don't think it gets better or easier than that. So let's just get right into it. To create a Power Automate flow using Copilot, you can do that from the home screen. Once you go to makethepowerautomate.com, you've logged in, you see this page, you can describe your flow in here. Another way you can do the same thing, so you can either do it from here, or if you go to the create tab, there's this one that says describe it or design it, which is basically the same thing. So we can describe the flow we want to create. So let's do something similar to what we did with the template one. So let's do send a message in Teams when I receive a new email in Office 365. Simple. And let's see if Copilot can give us the right thing we're looking for. So we want to send a message in Teams anytime a new email comes in, okay, which is pretty simple. The Power Automate is giving us this. The flow starts when this happens. That's the trigger when a new email arrives in Office 365 Outlook, which is good. The action, this is what the flow would do. Post a message in the chat or channel, which is good. Great. Sometimes Copilot will give you different versions of what it thinks you're trying to describe. So you can scroll through the versions and choose the one that fits your use case the most. Right now, we've only got one version. We can also, regenerate it if you think that it hasn't got in your description correct. Then you can also add more details for Copilot to work with. You can raise Copilot also just so that they can get some feedback with training their model. Um, yeah, but for us, this is what we want. It's going it really well. Then I'm just gonna click on keep it and continue. Once I've done that, I'm just gonna click on create flow, and with create flow, it basically creates the flow for me, which is really good. And like I said, this is even easier than using templates, because now I can just describe what I want and Copilot basically creates the flow. You can then, when you're using Copilot, bear in mind it is important to look through the configuration or the settings or the parameters in the flow to make sure that it has gotten everything correctly. If we start from the trigger, it shows you right now it's just a simple when a new email arrives. It doesn't really set any parameters. You can decide to set parameters saying, okay, you don't just want to trigger this flow when just any email comes in. You want to set specific parameters that would trigger this flow. So it could be only when the email is sent to certain people or CC'd, or if there's certain people CC'd in the email, or to or CC in the email, or you want to trigger the flow only when it comes from a certain email address, or if it includes attachments and any other parameters that you want to do. So you can be flexible with all of this. And again, depending on what you're trying to do. For instance, if you are used to receiving invoices from a certain customer, you might want to do only trigger this email when the email comes from that certain customer, so the email address of that customer, or so it just depends, or you might want to do when the email contains an attachment such as receipt, invoice, or any other thing like that. If we go to post channel, so this one we're going to leave it like that. We're not going to add any fancy parameters or any custom parameters. Just come to the next one, the post channel in or post message in the chatter channel. Right now it's set to post as Flowbot, good, and post in chat with Flowbot, good. Now we need to set where this message should go to. So let's send it to ourselves. I'm going to send it to myself. So you should send it to me. So you receive a new email in Office 365. Good. It's quite simple. I'm going to save this and test it. Okay, good. That's saved correctly. And then I'll go to test manually. And what I have to do now is to send myself a new email, right? So send myself a new email from my Gmail. Click on compose, send it to Jide. Just new email, just testing this email. Trigger. Okay, gonna send that. Go to my Outlook. Wait for that email to drop. Okay, these are all old emails. Gonna delete that, delete this too. So just wait for. Okay, great. That's the new email. Just testing this email trigger. If we go back to go back to Power Automate and wait for Power Automate to realize or pick up that email that's dropped in our Outlook. Okay, great. It's picked up. Let's check. It's trying to send the email in or send the message in Teams, which is a check too. So 2 steps. We've gone correctly. If we go to chat, Teams chat, and we check our chat, we should be able to see that new message. Okay, it's taking some time to load up, but yeah, that should have sent me. Okay, great. So let's go. JFudge should send to me. Oh wait, okay, so yeah, it should be in this workflow. This is where it should come from. Okay, great. So that's the new email. So because we've chosen Flowbot, so the email or the message has come from the workflow account. So this one is just dropped now. Okay, great, that's it. And that's really simple. So again, another thing I want to show you, it's Copilot, is that you don't only have to use or you just Copilot isn't just for creating the flow. I mean like creating the flow from the beginning. You can also use Copilot to make changes to the flow, so enhance the flow or modify the flow. So right now, the email, when the new email comes into our Office 365, this flow gets triggered and then it sends a message, and it's a static message that says you have received a new email in Office 365. Okay, what if we wanted the body of this message to contain the the body of the email? So we basically want this message that we get in Teams to also include the email body. Instead of doing that ourselves with dynamic content, we can try to get Copilot to do that for us. So right here it's saying send the message in Teams. Okay, that's the initial one we gave it. So we can then say for the Teams step, can you, or let's delete, please, I like to speak nicely to AI. Please change the, or please include the email body in the message that is sent on Teams. Okay, don't know if I've described this in the best way, but let's try it. If it doesn't work, we'll write that in a different way. Okay, well, that's not really done what we want. Get email body. We don't, we're not trying to get there. So we just want this message in here. We want the body here included in the Teams message. So we're going to undo that and try again. Okay. So take the body from the email in the trigger. I take the email body from the email in the trigger and include it in the Teams message in the second step. Okay, hopefully, hopefully this is a better description. To get this flow ready. Yeah, still not doing what we wanted to do. Okay, so again, sometimes Copilot just couldn't work and you have to do it yourself. So let's revert that back and give it another. Let's tell it to do something else. Seems that one, it's either I'm not describing it correctly or that one is just too complicated for it to understand. Okay, so let's do only trigger flow. So we'll do only trigger the flow when the email comes from Faju demo. Okay, only trigger this flow when the email comes from, okay, this email address. Okay, good. Let's do that. Okay, so it's done. Check email sender. Provide. So it's added a condition for check email sender, and it's basically so it's basically asking me to do that. So I have to do that myself. That's also not work correctly. So again, Copilot is not really being helpful. Yeah. What we wanted Copilot to do is to just say to or from. This should be what you should have done. From as a parameter and just add, Faju demo, and that would have just been perfect. But so it might be something wrong with the way I'm describing your Copilot itself. But okay, let's try one last thing. But I think we all get the point here. I've done that. So let's do, okay, include the date of the email, include the time of the email in the Teams step, in the Teams message. Okay, the post may be more specific this time, just to see if it makes a difference. Or you know what, let's stop generating this. let's include, instead of including the time, not sure I even got that right in the first place. Let's include the sender. Include the sender of the email in the post Teams message. Okay. Ooh, well, that's not right too. Well, I give up. So thank you for joining me in proving that Copilot is not really the best when trying to add or modify actions in your Power Automate flow. But yeah, um, again, that's why it's important that we know what we're doing in Power Automate and not just completely depend on AI. I believe this is going to get Copilot will get better over time and we'll be able to do more modifications in Power Automate flows. But for now, it's not really the best and it's not really the most helpful. So yeah, thank you.